Welcome to the True Love Secret Reveals Summit. Today, I am super happy to have here my good friend Charlene Byars. Charlene is a dating coach for women. She specializes in feminine embodiment and she helps single, successful, high achieving alpha women, you could say, to find their men, their high quality masculine men. Thank you, Charlene, for being here again. I love to talk with you and to hear your wisdom.
Oh, hello, Mama. Thank you for having me. Oh my God. What I love about, the conversations that we have, we're two women, truly so passionate. Like, I just love it. Like, so passionate about relationships, so passionate about, women truly like finding the love of their life. So, anytime I have an opportunity to talk with you, I'm just so happy. Thank you, Mom.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I love it. I love being around you.
Yes.
So we are going to talk a little bit about feminine energy
Yeah.
and what that is. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
If you could please explain to our audience what that is. I get it a lot when I talk to women about feminine energy. They immediately go to this space of, I don't want to be weak. I don't want to go back in time to the 1950s. And
Right.
so
Right.
I would like if you could please explain a little bit what this feminine energy is and how it's not being weak. And
Right, right. And actually what I love about that is actually I always feel like feminine energy is actually very powerful, very powerful. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions of, it being weak and it being like, we don't get to have a voice and we just sit back and not do anything, which is the opposite of really what it is. So when I say, so feminine energy is basically an opportunity for us women to come back actually to our natural essence,
mm,
our intuition, our ability to really have this energy of understanding what's in front of us, what is really going on. So, a lot of times, what happens with our feminine energy and how women, I would say, steer away from it because they're like, what that is. When we steer away from it, what happens is we have the feminine energy and we have this masculine energy, which that both can be, it's not gender specific. So necessarily, like if you have, masculine energy, a woman can possess masculine energy, a woman can possess feminine energy, and the same thing with a man. They can have masculine energy or they can have feminine energy. But when it comes to specifically feminine energy, when it is embodying it as a woman, what that is truly understanding how you feel and
mm,
allowing you to feel through if something's wrong, if your intuition's off, your intuition's right. Because when a woman is in her feminine essence, she always can feel even before it's getting her out of the masculine, which is nothing wrong with the thinking part. But when we're talking about the matters of love, we're talking about the manner of like really being able to attract, a man that you are attracted to, that you want that type of, I know now I'm going to get into polarity, but okay, but that you want that type of polarity with, it's really important to allow yourself to step into that feminine energy, and it's about the way that you actually feel. Because
right.
I'm telling you right now, I don't know, but I'm saying this. Um, One of the questions I ask women often, when we're talking about like them wanting to be in a relationship or them looking for a partner, a person that they can spend their life with, like true alignment, their husbands. One of the questions I actually ask them is, when you think about that, like, how do you actually want to feel with that person? And it's fascinating. If a woman is really much in her masculine energy, which is the thinking part, she's disconnected to the feeling. So when I've asked her that question, sometimes she can't even really articulate like how she actually wants to feel.
Right.
And what I hear the most, though, when I ask women that question, when I say, how do you actually want to feel? Because remember, a lot of times I deal with, a lot of high achieving women. So they are more in their masculine energy. With, again, masculine, there's nothing wrong with masculine energy. But when it comes to the romantic part, there is something very powerful for us women with our feminine energy. So when I ask them this question, this is what I hear the most. Okay. They will say to me, Charlene, I want to feel safe.
Mm.
And women that are in their masculine energy, that's actually something that when you start like getting to the root of what's going on with them, that's actually something that is important to them. They just haven't been able to articulate or feel that.
Right.
And they'll say this, they'll say, I want to feel safe. I want to feel wanted.
Mm.
I want to feel protected. I want to feel taken care of because it gets them out of the external thinking. When we think about relationships and we think about men and we think about all that stuff, a lot of times we're more on the external. We're more on like what he looks like, how much money he has, that type of stuff. We don't allow ourselves to understand that we already have this ability to know what it is that we're looking for. So that's kind of like that's like a little bit of how would you say, introduction
Right.
to feminine energy and really embodying your feminine energy.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
I hope
And
that
Mhm.
explained it, so you can
Yes,
understand it. Yeah.
yes, yes. Yes, it was really clear, very well articulated, per usual. And so, Charlene, how dating with this feminine energy looks like? Like
Mhm.
it's different than
Yeah,
when you are dating and you are not aware of your energy?
it really is. It's different because if we are dating, and let's say for an example, let's give you an example. So let's say, and what I love about this, because this is now truly, it's not our fault, ladies. It's okay. It's okay. This is the majority of us. We don't realize that this is what's happening. This is what's happening. This is the push of society. This is, the push of like, a lot of us have found ourselves, being in single moms now, relationships don't work out. So we've had to kind of like step up and be more in this masculine energy, which is, getting stuff done, being the one that's the head of the household if you're a single mom, or even if you're not a mom, just, really having to push forward, being hyper independent, doing it all, like, and again, I think it comes a lot back for like how a lot of us grew up. You got to be very independent. You can't trust a man. You got to do it on your own. Like that was my culture, like seriously. So what has happened, so we have a lot of us women now that we are really more in our masculine energy. Okay. Like we're like doers. We're like, okay, we gotta get this done. Okay. I don't have time for the feeling stuff. Like seriously, I don't have time for the feeling stuff. And so what I find is when a woman is in her masculine energy and you put that into the dating world, okay? Whatever energy that you truly are in, either it's going to be the masculine energy or it's going to be more in that feminine energy. You are literally going to attract the opposite energy.
Mm.
So the complaint is the women that are very much in masculine energy, they find that when they're dating, they're very confused. They're very frustrated because they're like, why every time I'm dating, I'm a beautiful woman. What's going on here? I have my life together. Like, what's up? Why, when I'm dating,
Right.
I keep attracting like these I call them, Build-A-Bears, mama boy, like seriously, like, wishy-washy, men that really are looking for a woman to take care of them.
Mm.
Women are like, what's going on? Like, where are all the good men? Well, where are
Right.
these masculine men? So that's why it's really important to understand this understanding of what is it about our energy, and what is it that we're actually looking for in the amount of dating. Because if you are really dating in your masculine energy, I want you to ask yourself something. What keeps showing up? What kind of guys keep showing up? Because that's the first start when it comes to shifting the energies. I like to talk about that.
Right. Wow, that is so, so, so fascinating. When you asked that question, what is showing up? I went back to my 20s when I
Yeah.
was dating and failing left and right.
Yeah.
And what was showing up for me, because I have always been in my feminine energy, that wasn't an issue for me. What I figured out through doing the work is that I was in the shadow of the feminine energy. So I was a damsel in distress. So what was showing up were knights in a shining armor trying to save me. And,
Mm.
and I actually wanted them to save me. I
Mhm.
thought the man was going to save me. I'm not proud of saying it, but that's what
Right,
I.
that was your situation then. Yeah.
So it wasn't until I did the work and, and got my act together and grew up and shifted into the positive, the light of the feminine energy, that I started to attract amazing men with masculine
Right.
energy, and we were a good complement. So
Right.
that is awesome. That's
That's
awesome.
it. Let's talk about that real quick though. You made a comment. You said that when you were back then, you've always kind of felt like, you've been in your feminine energy, but it was a different type of energy in the sense of like more the damsel in distress. So
Right,
ladies, that that is not true feminine energy, the damsel in distress.
right,
But there's nothing wrong. That means that's just the type of energy that you were possessing. But even when we are in that type of energy, yes, you're going to attract people that literally want to save and control you. It's
right,
different. Yeah,
right,
it's always ladies, because I don't know about you, but nobody wants to be controlled, right? We don't want to be controlled. So this feminine energy has nothing to do with allowing a man to control you. Oh no. It's
right,
the opposite of that. It's actually allowing a man, when we truly step into this, how that looks like
right,
is we have this like ability to just have this beautiful trust and confidence in ourselves, that we really know our worth, our value, and anything else is just a bonus. Like that's true feminine energy, to where like literally, like you're like, oh, and it's not a conceited thing. It's not a conceited thing. It's a beautiful confidence thing, that you truly know that you are the prize,
right,
that you know what you bring into a relationship. Because a masculine man, a true authentic masculine man, because we have a lot of misconceptions about masculinity too, right? But what I'm talking about those men that truly like adore women, they respect women, they know how to treat a woman, and they value when a woman is also loves being a woman.
right,
They love
right,
being a man.
right.
It's
That's
it's and there when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, there is a difference. There's polarity here. Polarity is actually what makes it romantic and not platonic. Because I don't know about you, but I don't teach people just to find friends. I'm not into the platonic. Platonic's great, you have a lot of friends, but I'm here to help people, right? Find their romantic partner,
right.
and have that alignment and have fun, and have it grow and romance, all the good stuff about a
All the
relationship.
good stuff. So piggybacking on what you just said is, where are all those men? Where are all the
Oh,
good men that you are talking
all the
about?
good
Where
men.
do we find them?
I know. Where are these good men? Well, that I say this all the time. I know this is gonna be a shock. Ready for this? This is a shock now. Here we go.
Right.
They're everywhere.
Oh,
They're actually everywhere, ladies. There's amazing men out there, beautiful, wonderful men. And a lot of times is that we're just not seeing them. And some of the things are what's kind of holding us back from seeing them is we're very much in our masculine energy, and we can do it all, and we don't need help, and no one's gonna tell us what to do. So we already block ourselves even before we even get out. Like, we already have that. And a lot of times too, it really comes down to, like, your beliefs. What are your real beliefs about men? Because if you really believe, think about this. This is really important. If you really believe that there's just no good men out there, that men are jerks, that's it, or men are jerks, or men are narcissists, or whatever it is that you believe. You don't believe that there's a lot of good men out there. That will keep showing up in your life. Men will mirror what we believe. So, and if you have that belief, if you're like, well, I've never had, the belief that there are a lot of good men. Well, there's some work we got to do there. We got to find out why that is, and if it's true, and what's going on with that, because that's what I know to be true. What I know to be true is there's plenty of great men out there. They're everywhere.
That's fabulous. That's amazing. And I agree
It's
with
so
you.
encouraging because it's true. That's what I tell women. I said, don't be disencouraged, because it's actually true. The majority are great.
Thank you for saying that. And so that brings me to my next question is, okay,
Yes.
so they are everywhere,
Yes.
but how do we distinguish between a good, great guy or
Yes.
one of the, those other men that they can come across as high quality men at the beginning, but
Yep.
they are actually, narcissistic or psychopaths, or, the dark triad of the darkness of men.
The,
How
the,
do,
the turn, the
yeah,
turn, what happened? Like, how do we really know? Well, let's talk about that.
please.
How do we actually really know? You know what it comes down to? What's going on is, another thing that's going on is, like, we're not taking the time to know somebody. There's a whole process on how to get to know someone. So I'm going to teach. I like to teach someone something right now. So this is process, and how do you really get to know someone? Because this is what happens. We rush this process because when you first meet someone, okay, when you first meet someone, I'm just going to say this, however that person's showing up, that is truly the ceiling as good as it gets, because we show up in the beginning our best selves. Okay. So that is the ceiling as good as it gets. Now, when you first meet, when you first meet someone, that's it, ladies, we don't change men. We don't change people. Meet them where they're at. Believe who they are. They're going to show you. That is the ceiling as good as it gets. Okay. Then what happens is, as time goes by, you're going to be able to see if the way that they showed up matches really who they are. Okay. Because to get to know someone, you have to actually get to know them first. Okay. Then when you're starting to get to know them, then you can start relying on them. You're like, okay, I can rely on this person. Okay, I'm gonna slow this down. I can rely on this person. After you start relying on this person, then you're like, you know what? I trust this person. Because as time has gone by, I realize, what they say, they do. I realize by their actions matches their words, and I can rely on them, and I can trust them. And then you know what happens? After you give it time and you get to know someone, and then you get to rely on them, and then you actually get to, like, you know what? I can trust them. This is when we commit. Why are we committing to anybody if we really don't know who he is? And I don't care what anybody tells me. I know this to be true. You don't actually get to know someone unless you give it time.
That is so important. Thank you. When you hear it like that, it's such a common sense, you
Yes,
know. You are
very
like,
common.
what's common sense? But it's not common practice. I mean, I have done it when I was in my 20s. I
Yes,
would just jump in relationships immediately. I
me too.
literally meet the guy, have sex after a few days,
Yeah.
and we're boyfriend and
Oh,
girlfriend.
let me add it. Oh, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. I gotta add. So what did I say, ladies? What did I say? We're gonna get to know them, and if
Yes,
we start knowing them, then we're gonna rely on them. Watch this. This is beautiful. Then we're gonna rely on them. And we're like, okay, he's gonna show me who he is. I'm relying on him. Okay, now I'm trusting him. Now that I trust this man, I'm gonna commit to him. And then once I commit to him, then we touchy.
right, right.
It's a process.
It's a process.
It's a
Yes,
process.
it's a
And
process.
why don't we do that? Because we don't slow down. And then what happens when we don't slow down? We end up in these relationships with these guys that we're all, attached to. Because as soon as you sleep with a man, ladies, let me tell you, our bodies were meant to receive. It is science. It's our biological. Like we are going to bond.
Yeah.
And you're gonna and when you bond with a man like that, and you have that type of chemistry at first, you know what's gonna happen? Well, you know what's gonna happen? All those hormones, this is everyone. Think about this. All those hormones are gonna fire up. There's this study, and I don't have the picture, but there's this study of the brain. And this is the brain falling in love. So they call it. So what happens is when it's not really falling in love, you're falling in infatuation. Okay. So because no, seriously, because you slept with the guy, and now all of a sudden, this is what happens. Listen to this. Your critical thinking shrinks. Like seriously. So the brain, so the showing of the brain, how they showed the brain. So the critical thinking part is like nice and vibrant, right? And when people are releasing oxytocin, dopamine, all those chemicals that what those actual chemicals do, you guys, why we fall in love, it shrinks our critical thinking. So that's when our critical thinking is shrinking. We're really like that's when we're ignoring being in our feminine, and how we're feeling, and all those red flags and all those things like, oh, I go no está bien, like something's off, right? That's because we're not allowing ourselves to really be in that place because our critical thinking is shot. It's gone. So now we're like, and then you know what I mean? Then we get in these relationships like, what do we do again? Why? Because mama, you didn't slow down.
Yes.
You didn't give it the time that it needs. You're trying to rush the process because if this man is for you, ladies, if this is your man, let me tell you something about men. He's gonna love the process with you because he's gonna actually want to get to know you. And if that man really is into you and he wants you, oh, enjoy the process, enjoy the courtship. Leave the titi chachi, all that for later. Now you can still have some fun in between, don't get me wrong, but we don't need to go full force until you want to commit to him. Seriously, until you want to commit to him. And that's a great way to avoid falling for a jerk.
Oh, gosh. Bravo. That was amazing. Slow down.
Slow down.
He's not going anywhere. If he's the right guy, he's not going anywhere. We cannot mess up the right thing. I
No, you
don't.
cannot mess up the right thing, and you can't rush the process.
Oh, yes, that's another conversation.
Do.
Yes,
This is what we do as women. Here's
yes.
the right. Remember, I told you this. So what we do is we skip it and we just go sleep with the guy. Think about that? You don't skip anything. You don't skip anything. That's a process. So that's what happens. And then that's why women find themselves over and over again, me included. I'm guilty of this 100%. I mean, I think this is the majority of us because no one's teaching us really how to date, how to slow down, why it's important, why all of this really matters, what is polarity, what is feminine energy. So when I'm in my feminine energy, that allows me to slow down. That allows me to really discern what I am dealing with.
Right. Yes. One of the character traits of the feminine is patience. So it's a good character trait to practice anyway. It's beautiful. Oh my God. Again, you blew my mind. I love having you, Charlene. You're such a treat. You're such a treat. I'm so happy that you're here. And I know you are launching a podcast before Valentine's Day.
Yes,
Want to
yes,
talk a little bit about that and tell the
yes,
ladies about?
yes. I have this amazing podcast. I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing that. And this podcast is called Love Stories with
Oh,
Charlene Byars, Love Stories. And it's really all about, love, relationships, dating, and what really makes it go around. Like what really makes it happen and all come together. So it's very inspirational, very like beautiful conversations I've had with different people. I've had, conversations in this podcast. You guys are going to be able to hear guests that are ready, are also like high achieving women and they've been able to find their love. You're going to hear from couples that have been married for so many years and they've gone through it all. You're going to hear from, men experts are going to give you their personal perspective. So you can really hear a guy's perspective when it comes to dating because men and women are different, ladies. Okay. I'm for real. We're completely different and it's awesome. I love it. And that's what makes the polarity. So yes, so it's coming out before Valentine's and she'll say the link, but
Yes, I
definitely
will place the link on the
yes,
email.
listen
So
to it if you're looking for, some great stories of love and advice and inspiration.
oh my God, I am so, so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going to be the first subscriber.
Yes. I love
Well,
it.
your husband maybe will beat me to the chase.
I know, right? Yeah, definitely.
And lastly, you have a gift for our ladies. What is that about? I don't know what you're
Yeah,
giving.
so the free grant that I have, ladies. So like we just touched a little bit today on a few topics, right? So we touched a little bit on feminine embodiment, we touched on masculinity, polarity, like why we believe what we believe, our limiting beliefs. I have this awesome um ebook and it's called The Magnetic Woman. And what I love about this, that I wrote this, it helps you apply things right now. So you don't have to wait. So it helps you apply things into your life and really allows you to understand feminine embodiment in a different way, more detailed than I just explained because I'm, short and limited time. But it gives you like the breakdown of what that is and how you can start applying that into your life. And when you apply this into your life, how you can actually start attracting some really amazing men and repel the jerks. So if you're ready, like that book is going to get you going, get you moving. And it's my free gift to you. The Magnetic
That's
Woman, how to find
wonderful.
the love of your life.
That is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I will also place the link in the email. There
Thank
is
you.
anything you would like to say before we go our separate ways?
Yes. So listen, I just want to say that, you know what? If you find yourself, in a situation that you're, you have been looking for a while and you are, feeling discouraged and you're thinking, I don't know if it's really for me. Like love is available for all of us. Okay. I just want to say that love is available for all of us. It is available for you. And sometimes, it's just how it is. Sometimes it's in a wave. And if you're not there right now, doesn't mean you can't get there. Because really, like, I truly believe this, Natalia, like the biggest decision that you will ever make is who you choose to be your life partner. Because that decision, think about that. That decision alone will determine your overall happiness. It will determine so much about your life. So let's choose great men, ladies. Let's take our time. Let's take our time to get to know them and let's have some amazing relationships because it's available for all of us.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
So much.